90% of people over 50 now own a smartphone. But here's what nobody talks about. Most of those phones were designed for a 25-year-old. Tiny text. Confusing menus. 10 steps just to make a phone call. And the companies making them, they know this. They just don't care. So I spent 6 weeks. Tested 9 smartphones. Specifically for seniors. And I found out that only 3 of them are actually worth your money in 2026. I'm going to show you exactly which ones pass and which ones fail. And I'll be honest, the one pick on this list might genuinely surprise you. So stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll never second guess a smartphone purchase again. Let's get into it. Let me tell you something real quick. There are 2 types of phones being sold as senior friendly right now. The first type, dedicated senior phones. Things like the Jitterbug. Big buttons, simple interface, costs less. Sounds perfect, right? Except seniors hate them. Because they feel patronizing. They look like a toy. And they do half of what a normal smartphone can do. The second type, mainstream smartphones that nobody set up properly. Your mom gets an iPhone. Nobody shows her how to increase the text size. Nobody turns on the accessibility features. And 6 months later she's calling you because she can't find her photos. That's not a phone problem. That's a setup problem. And that's exactly what this video is going to solve. I tested every category: budget phones, flagship phones, dedicated senior devices, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to buy and what to skip. Before I get into the rankings, let me tell you the 8 things I actually tested. Because most reviewers test these phones like they're buying them for themselves. I didn't do that. Number 1, text size. Can a senior read the screen at arm's length without squinting? I tested every phone at default settings and at maximum text size. Number 2, call clarity. Not in a quiet room. I tested call volume in a kitchen with background noise, in a car, outside on a windy day. Real conditions. Number 3, camera simplicity. 1 tap to take a photo. Because if you need 3 menus to take a picture of your grandchildren, that's a fail. Number 4, emergency SOS. How fast can you call for help with one hand? This matters more than anything else on this list. Number 5, battery life. Tested over a full day of typical senior use: calls, texts, a bit of browsing, photos. No gaming, no streaming. Number 6, setup difficulty. Could a non-technical person set this phone up without calling their kids for help? Number 7, hearing aid compatibility. This is the one most reviewers skip entirely. Every phone has an M&T rating. I checked all of them. And number 8, monthly cost. Because a great phone that costs a fortune every month is not a great phone for most people. Right. Let's get into the rankings from worst to best. Starting at number 9, the Jitterbug Smart 4. Now I know, the name is everywhere when you Google phones for seniors. It's marketed specifically at this audience. So you'd think it would be great. It's not. Here's the problem. The screen is a 6.2-inch display, which sounds decent. But the resolution is so low that text looks blurry at larger sizes. The call quality fine. Nothing special. The camera genuinely the worst I tested. Slow to open. Blurry in anything less than perfect light. If you want to take photos of grandchildren, this is going to frustrate you. The monthly plan through Lively starts at $19.99 per month just for basic service. Plus the phone cost. Plus an optional monitoring service on top of that. For that price, you could get a phone that does 5 times more. The emergency features are good. The urgent response button is well designed. That's the one positive I'll give it. But overall the Jitterbug Smart 4 is what happens when a company sees senior market and thinks simplified means worse. Skip it. Number 8, the Doro 8100. Doro has been making senior phones for years, and the 8100 is their best Android offering right now. It's better than the Jitterbug but not by as much as you'd hope. The screen is good. 6.1 inches, clear display, and Doro's simplified interface works reasonably well for someone who's never used Android before. The standout feature here is the assistance button on the back. Hold it down and it sends your location to a trusted contact. That's genuinely useful. Battery life solid. About 30 hours in real testing. That's a full day and then some. But here's where it falls apart: software updates. Doro has a poor track record with long-term software support. You might buy this phone and find it outdated within 2 years. At around 180 SIM-free, it's not the cheapest option either. If someone is completely new to smartphones and wants the simplest possible experience, the Doro 8100 is an option. But there are better choices at this price point. Number 7, the Nokia G42. And this is where things start getting interesting. The Nokia G42 is not marketed as a senior phone. Which is exactly why it works better than most phones that are. It runs clean Android 13. No confusing overlay. No bloatware. Just a simple, standard Android experience which is actually easier to navigate than you'd think. The text size and display accessibility options are excellent. Android's built-in settings are genuinely powerful if someone sets them up correctly. Call quality very clear. Loudspeaker. Good earpiece. And crucially, it has an M3T4 hearing aid compatibility rating, one of the best on this list. Battery life is outstanding. We got 36 hours in testing. That's class leading at this price point. The downside: the camera is average. Nothing bad, nothing impressive. If photography matters to your parent or loved one, this isn't the top choice. But at around 160 SIM-free with 3 years of guaranteed software updates from Nokia, this is genuinely excellent value. Number 6, the Motorola Moto G85. And I want to stop here for a second because this is the mid-video point where I want to rehook you. I said at the start that only 3 phones on this list are truly worth buying. We just covered the bottom 4. The next 5, including the top 3, are genuinely excellent. And the one pick costs under $500. Keep watching. Now the Moto G85. Motorola has always been good at making clean, simple Android phones. The G85 continues that tradition. 6.67-inch display. AMOLED screen. Which means the contrast is outstanding. Black is black, white is white, and text is crisp and easy to read even in bright sunlight. The font scaling on this phone goes extremely large, larger than most phones I tested. For someone with mild vision issues, this is a significant advantage. Call quality is good. Speaker is loud. The Moto G85 also has Dolby Atmos speakers, which for listening to videos or audio calls makes a real difference. Battery 5000 mAh. We got 38 hours. Exceptional. Where it loses points: the camera is decent but not special. And the setup experience, while clean, doesn't have anything specifically designed for first-time senior users. Still, at around $200, this is a strong contender for value. Number 5, the Samsung Galaxy A55. Samsung's mid-range lineup has gotten genuinely impressive. And for seniors, The A55 has something most phones on this list don't, a feature called Easy Mode. Easy Mode strips the home screen down to large icons, large text, and a simplified layout. It's one tap to activate. And it doesn't remove any functionality, it just makes everything bigger and more obvious. The screen is a 6.6-inch Super AMOLED. Stunning. Best display quality at this price point. Camera excellent. One of the best on this list. The zoom is easy to use, the autofocus is fast, and photos in low light are impressive. Emergency SOS is well designed. 5 presses of the power button sends a location-based alert to chosen contacts. Fast and reliable. Battery life 36 hours in testing. Strong. The only downside is Samsung's software overlay. One UI is good, but it's still busier than clean Android. There are more menus, more settings, more places to accidentally tap the wrong thing. But if you turn on easy mode, that problem almost disappears. At around $280, the Galaxy A55 is excellent value for the features you're getting. Number 4, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. This is Samsung's almost flagship phone. And for seniors who want the best Samsung experience without the highest price, this is it. Everything the A55 does, the S24 Fa does better. The screen is a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED. Brighter. More vibrant. Even easier to read outdoors. The camera is a significant step up. 50-megapixel main sensor. The zoom is excellent. And Galaxy AI camera features like auto remaster and suggested shots genuinely make photos better without the user needing to do anything. Battery life 40 hours in our real-world testing. One of the longest on this list. And Galaxy AI brings a feature that I think is genuinely brilliant for seniors: Live Translate. Real-time call translation. If you have a family member who speaks a different language, or you're traveling, this works incredibly well. The S24 Fa also gets 7 years of software updates from Samsung. That's best in class for Android. At around $480, it's not cheap. But it's close to flagship quality at a mid-range price. Number 3, and this is where it gets really good, the Google Pixel 9. The Pixel 9 is the best call quality phone on this list. Full stop. Google has a feature called Clear Calling that filters out background noise in real time on both ends of the call. Testing this in a noisy kitchen, a cafe, outside, every time, the call was crystal clear. For seniors who struggle to hear on the phone, this single feature can genuinely change everything. The screen is a 6.3-inch Actua display. Bright, sharp, and importantly the smallest of the top phones on this list. Which might sound like a downside, but for seniors with smaller hands or arthritis, a lighter, more manageable phone matters. Google's accessibility settings are the best on Android. Font scaling, display size, touch accommodations, hearing aid support, all excellent and all easy to find. The camera the best on this entire list. Google's computational photography is class leading. One tap. Perfect photo. Every time. And with 7 years of guaranteed updates, you're future-proofed. At around $800, it's an investment. But for someone who wants the absolute best call quality, camera, and software experience, the Pixel 9 delivers. Number 2, the iPhone 15 Plus. And before you say it, yes, I know. A lot of you watching expected the iPhone to be number 1. It's not. And I'll explain why in a moment. But first, the iPhone 15 Plus is genuinely exceptional for seniors in 2026. The screen is 6.7 inches. One of the largest and brightest on this list. Text at maximum size is incredibly easy to read. And the dynamic island notification system, once you understand it, is actually more intuitive than a traditional notification bar. iOS is simply more consistent than Android. Every app follows the same design rules. The back button is always in the same place. The settings menu is logical. For someone new to smartphones, that consistency is huge. The emergency SOS satellite feature is extraordinary. Even with no phone signal, if you're outdoors, hiking, in a rural area, you can still call for help via satellite. No other phone in this price range does this. Face ID works brilliantly with glasses. With changed appearances. In the dark. The camera is world-class. And with iCloud, photos automatically back up without the user needing to do anything. Battery life 38 hours in testing. The largest battery Apple has ever put in a non-Pro iPhone. Hearing aid compatibility M3T4 rating. Best in class for hearing aid users. So why isn't it number 1? 2 reasons. Price: the iPhone 15 Plus starts at around $900. And it only receives 5 to 6 years of updates, compared to longer commitments elsewhere. And second, the setup ecosystem lock-in. If the rest of your family is Android, if your contacts, your photos, your messages are all on Android, switching to iPhone creates friction that an older user might really struggle with. For existing iPhone users or Apple ecosystem families, this is the best senior phone you can buy. For everyone else, wait for number 1. And the number 1 best smartphone for seniors in 2026. The iPhone 16. Specifically the standard iPhone 16. Not the Pro. Not the Pro Max. The base iPhone 16. Here's why. Apple completely redesigned the iPhone 16's camera controls. There's now a dedicated camera control button, a physical button on the side of the phone that launches the camera instantly and lets you take a photo with one press. For seniors, this single change makes the camera dramatically easier to use than any previous iPhone. The chip, the A18, runs Apple Intelligence. And Apple Intelligence includes a feature called Notification Summaries, which groups and summarizes your messages and notifications so you're never overwhelmed by a wall of alerts. The screen is 6.1 inches, slightly smaller than the 15 Plus, but the software improvements more than compensate. And here's the pricing. The iPhone 16 starts at $799. A full $100 less than the iPhone 15 Plus. For a newer phone, with a better chip, with that camera control button, that's an outstanding deal. It also gets satellite emergency SOS. The same excellent iOS consistency. The same Face ID. The same iCloud backup. And Apple has committed to at least 5 years of iOS updates for iPhone 16, likely 6 or 7. If I had to buy one phone right now for a senior in my own family, this would be it. The iPhone 16. Our number 1 pick for 2026. Right, let me show you the actual test data. Screen readability test. I set every phone to maximum text size and measured how many words fit on a single screen. More words means the text is smaller. Fewer words means larger text. The winner here, the Moto G85. It displayed the largest text of any phone I tested. The Pixel 9 and iPhone 16 were close behind. The Jitterbug Smart 4, despite being a senior phone, came in 4th. Which tells you everything. Call clarity test. Background noise. I played a 70 decibel background noise track during calls, equivalent to a busy kitchen, and rated intelligibility on a 1 to 10 scale. Google Pixel 9 scored 9.5 out of 10. The clear calling feature is genuinely extraordinary. iPhone 16 came in at 8.5. Very good. Samsung S24 Fe at 7.5. Nokia G42 at 7.0. The Jitterbug 5.5. Below average, despite being specifically made for seniors. Battery life real-world testing, our usage profile, 2 hours of calls, 45 minutes of browsing, 30 photos, 20 text messages. 1 charge from 100%. Samsung S24 Fe 40 hours. Winner. Moto G85 38 hours. iPhone 16 36 hours. Pixel 9 34 hours. Jitterbug 28 hours. Last place. Emergency SOS speed test. From lock screen to emergency call connected, how many seconds? iPhone 16 4 seconds. Fastest. Samsung S24 Fe 6 seconds. Pixel 9 6 seconds. Nokia G42 9 seconds. Jitterbug urgent response 11 seconds. Slowest despite having a dedicated emergency button.